Now, so what is al-ana? Al-ana is what? What is al-ana? Al-ana is now. Yes, al-ana is now. And remember, this alif lam, you cannot take it away. Okay, it is always with alif lam. Al-ana. And this fatha is always there. So these are fixed. Right? But here you have al-maghrib. Al-maghrib, this alif lam, you don't need that. You don't have to memorize like that. You can just memorize is maghrib. Right? Maghribun. So what is maghrib? Now, maghrib has tons of meanings. Okay, the basic one that we know is the prayer time, right? Prayer time, which is evening prayer time. Yes, maghrib also means west. Yes, so it's from, remember we did gharb. So, so we have sharq, okay, and then we have gharb. One second. Okay, so we have sharq and you have gharb, and how do you say south? Janub, okay, and shimal. Yes. So you see the gharb, this is where the maghrib comes from. So when it's a maghrib, it can mean the time or it can also mean the place of the west. It can mean the time. So when we mean the time, we say it is the maghrib time. When we mean the place, it can be west. And believe it or not, this is also name of the country, Morocco. In Arabic, maghrib is also Morocco. Okay. Now, yes, sure. So we have Sharq, Gharb, Janub, and Shimal. Okay, so this is the east. What is it if you're not? Okay, Shimal and Shamal. Okay, Shamal would be left. Be careful, okay, with the fatha. Now, so Huna, what is Huna? Huna is here, and Hunak is there. Okay, now we have Asri'. Asri' is to hasten, to make something, to be hurry. So this is a command verb. The verb is asra'a. Asra'a. Okay. So asra means he hastened, and this is a command meaning asking someone to haste. Okay. Asra', to haste. Qala. What is qala? Qala means. Okay. So I think we're going to be getting a lot of verbs. I think we should learn the verbs, both the present tense and the past tense. It's much better to learn them in a pair. So because the book started to talk about both, present tense and past tense, we should actually learn also with the command verb. But some of the command verbs are going to be a little bit tricky, like for example this one. So right now at least we should learn them with the present and the, or past and the present. So qala yaqulu. Yaqulu. Okay, it is to say. So remember when I say to say, so qala is the past tense, so he said, and yaqulu is present tense, he is saying. Okay, is it understood? I think I mentioned this technique many times, so hopefully you understand this. So when we say to say, we're just giving the meaning of the verb, and whether it's a present tense and past tense, now we have to start using our knowledge to identify, right? Remember what I said, if it's three letter and it ends with the fatha, then it's past tense, and usually if we have those letters in the beginning and it ends in the dhamma, it is the present tense. These are obviously when we don't have any pronouns attached to it, so there's no sub prefix, okay, or suffix. Now, so what is the moda? Hmm? What is the mod is to rinse, right? So the present tense would be yata mod madu, yata madu. Okay, it's a definitely mouthful word, right? But something good to know. It is to rinse or gargle, right? This one is important, comes a lot. Masaha. What is masaha? I give you all the meanings. Every word, the meanings. We talked about them in the last classes. Masaha is to wipe. Yes, very very important word. It comes in the Quran, comes in fiqh. You know, it's a very important word and everyday word. So masaha, and the present tense is yamsahu. Okay, yamsahu. Okay, so masaha yamsahu. Then we have atamma. What is atamma? Who remembers this word? Atamma is to conclude or to finish, to end, to what is the complete? To complete would be a better word. Complete. Okay. So what is the present tense? Yutimmu. Okay. Yutimmu. Atamma yutimmu. Okay. When we go to some of right now I don't want to give you the conjugations in here because we're just talking about the vocabularies. Inshallah, in the exercise maybe we will have how do we conjugate between with the pronouns, okay, because this one is a little bit tricky. Then we have salah. We know what salah is. What is nisf? Nisf is half. Okay, nisf. Again, we don't need to learn them with the alif lam. We can just learn with nisf. Okay, so this is a hamzatul istifham, which is the same thing as hal, right? This is for question. We talked about this. Okay, and then we have hatani. Hatani is what? Hatani is for these two. Okay, so it refers to two, important, right? These in a sense for two, but for what? For feminine. Okay, so for example, you have haqiba. Haqiba is what? We had this word here. Haqiba is bag. Okay, so now you want to say these are two bags. Okay, so you will say hatani. How do you say two bags? Haqibatani. What am I writing? Haqi Haqibatani. Anyway, right? I chose the wrong big word, but doesn't matter, right? So you will be using this one for a feminine word. Make sense? Inshallah, I think I will have a lot of exercise on the duals in this chapter. Then we have sami'tu. Okay, so we know how to use them, so we don't have to memorize like that, right? We can memorize sami'a. Sami'a. Sami'a means he heard, and yasma'u. Yasma'u is the present tense. Sami'a yasma'u, to hear. Inshallah, we'll do a lot of more. We already talked about how to add to, how to say sami'tu, sami'ta, sami'at, right? Inshallah, we'll have more exercise. And alhamdulillah, you know this phrase, all the praise for Allah. Ta'ala, ta'ala here, ta'ala is command. Let me write it like this. The verb is ta'ala. Okay, but this when you say ta'ala, you are commanding. You're commanding who? You're commanding. Ta'ala means to uh, let's go, let's go, or come, things like that, right? Here you will pronounce the ya. You will say ta'alay, because we have okay. So you will pronounce the ya. You will say ta'alay, but because this one is for female. But if you're asking a masculine person to come, actually, I think last time I give you a wrong spelling. It would be ta'ala, okay, without ya, and you will not write this alif. Ta'ala, ta'alay, come, let's go. You want to go somewhere. Your kids, they're taking time. You say ta'ala, okay, ta'ala ya Muhammad, or you say ta'alay ya Fatima. Okay, so you'll be using it like that. So then we have qama. Qama is to stand. And again, we know we don't have to learn like this. We can learn rather qama yaqumu. Okay, yaqumu, to stand. Qama yaqumu is to stand. Okay. Because I have to go a little bit fast because we talked about these words. We have seen this word in a context. Okay, so if you should really read this text multiple times until you're very very comfortable with, understanding what's being said. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time here. Tawadda'a, we talked about tawadda is to perform wudu. Yatawadda'u is the present tense. Okay. Istanshaka is what? Who remembers what is istanshaka? It is to put, um, you know, run water through your nose. Okay. Istanshaka yastanshiku. 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 Again, remember these two words are a little bit mouthful, but that's fine. You can memorize. Ka'ab. What is Ka'ab? Hmm? What is Ka'ab? Who remembers what's Ka'ab? It's heel, right? And here again, we have another verb. It's uh, this one is interesting. So the verb is actually amana. Okay, this is for the plural. Amana means to believe, and the present tense is yu'minu. Yu'minu. See, we hear this word, right? Yu'minu. Okay, so this means to believe. I think you know these words already, right? But what happens here, I explained a few times when you have Hamza and Alif like that, or then they don't like it. They don't like to write it like that. Okay, so they just combine them and use as a mud. Thumma is then. Okay, a thuluth is third. Okay, so you have nisf is half, thuluth is third. Okay, and here we have rubu. Rubu is fourth. Okay, rubu is fourth. Fourth. Mata, when. Haula'i is what? These. Okay, this is for plural. See, hadani is these for two. Okay, who can give me how to say this? This is hada. So you have the whole thing now. Hada. Oh, sorry. Hatani is for actually. Um, so what would be the singular for hatani? Would be hadihi. Okay, hadihi, and hada is for masculine. But haula'i, it is for both masculine and feminine. Okay, so that's easy, right? Haula'i is for both masculine and feminine. Now, then we have adhan. You know what adhan is? Call to prayer. Inshallah, you know what it means, if Allah wills. The verb here, sha'a is, how do you say, willed. Okay. Kaifa is how. Al wudu is the wudu that we do, ablution, right? Now, ghasala, here's a good verb. Ghasala yaghsilu, yaghsilu, yaghsilu is to what? Wash. Ghasala yaghsilu. And you can say anything. You're washing your clothes, you're washing your face, you're washing your, you know, dish, anything. You can use this word. What do we have here? Marafiq. Okay, so they're giving a plural for mirfaq. 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 What is mirfaq? Mirfaq is elbow, right? Right. Marafiq is the plural. Okay, this is the plural of mirfaq. And mirfaqani or qaini, this is for the duo, right? You understand? So mirfaq and marafiq. Did we get the marafiq? I think we only got the dual in this book. Now, bada'a, yabda'u, yabda'u, yabda'u. It is to begin. Guys, at this point, you know, this is all about memorizing vocabularies, right? And at least, alhamdulillah, we have seen this, as I'm saying, we have seen these words in a context. So after you memorize them, please read those texts many times until you know that you know all the words. Either, I don't remember reading the word either in the text. Either can be if, when, it depends on the context, right? I don't know if we had this one in the context or not, but that's fine. Alladina is uh, alladina is uh, those, but those in not like you know, in the demonstrative pronoun, those more like in a relative pronoun. For example, you say, I saw the people who came from the masjid. No, that's why Allah always uses in the Quran alladina. He refers back to the people. Okay, that, or yes, something like that. So remember, demonstrative pronoun, it goes forward. If we say hada kitab, you know, so that means it is something that is coming here. But how do you say refer to something that was before? You use alladhi. Okay, alladhi. I think we had this word alladhi and allati. Let me write it nicely. Definitely, I remember we had these words in this book, which is who, that, which, you know, just like English. But then alladhina, it is the plural of alladhi. Okay. Rub, we talked about, and hadani, it is these for two, for masculine. Okay, so we have hada, hadani, haulai, hadihi, hatani, haulai. Okay, I think, as I said, I think in this book we'll have more dual exercise. But as you can see, there are a lot of words for sure. We're getting a lot of verbs. The book at this point is not too much focused about memorizing both past and the present at the same time, but I really think it is going to be very helpful. Okay, you memorize like this: qala yaqulu, masaha yamsahu. Okay, any verbs that you have, you should memorize: qama yaqumu. Okay, especially the verbs that are three-letter verbs. Right now, focus on the three-letter verbs, the verbs that you get more than three letters, like tawadda'a, tamadmada. these are usually will be for some particular purpose, but at least right now make sure you know your three-letter verbs. غسل يغسل بدأ يبدأ. Very, very important. Okay, the verbs are extremely, extremely important. جيد. So next page we have تذكرة. We had this word before. Anybody remembers what is تذكرة? تذكرة is tickets. تمساح, تمساح is crocodile, and tufah is an apple. So I think here they're just showing you again. Sometimes they have this kind of exercise. We don't really take advantage of them. It shows you. I don't know. It's probably showing you letters starting with ta with fatha, starting with ta with kasra, and starting with ta with dhamma. Now, here's the gharb. We have the word that we were looking for. Gharb is west. Okay. Now, anyway, this one I think has to do with writing exercise. So we're starting with we're starting with at-tadribat. We have at-tadrib al-awwal, the first exercise. In this book, it is always challenging to find out what they want from this exercise because they don't give any instruction. Okay, let me just read through them. Qama bakru, bakr, bakr stood. Waqamat Fatima. Okay, very nice. So they're showing you these masculine and feminine verb. Qama, qamat. Okay, so this is the female version of the verb. So when you're saying that Fatima is standing or stood, you have to say qamat. So waqafa, so qama, you know what qama is to stand. Waqafa is to stop. Okay, waqafa bakrun. Bakr stopped. And how do you say Fatima stopped? You have to say waqafat. Okay, so this ta with the sukun makes the verb into a feminine case. Okay, so kataba, katabat, kataba, katabat. Any verb. Qara'a, qara'at. You know what kataba? Kataba means to write. That means Bakr wrote or he wrote, right? Qara'a, to read. So past tense. Qara'a Sa'idun, Sa'id read. Qara'at Fatima, Fatima means Fatima read. Tawadda'a, okay, al-ab, and the female version would be tawadda'at. So right now, only thing they're trying to teach you or show you that to change the verb from masculine to feminine, it's extremely simple. Just add ta with sukun. Darasa, darasat. Jalasa, jalasat. You know what darasa is? Darasa is to study. Jalasa is to sit. Again, I'm telling you the verb, so you have to say he studied or Said stood. Okay. Shariba, sharibat. Sharibat, sharibal waladu, the boy drank. Sharibat al bintu. So here you have to understand one thing. It's very important that you understand. Yes, the technically we have a sukun here. Okay, that's what we do to make the verb into a feminine. So we say sharibat. But you also have to understand that when you have alif lam right after that sukun, look, I couldn't pronounce it. There's no way I can combine these two together. I cannot say sharibat. What do I do after that in order to touch the alif lam? Then what do? You have to put a kasra. This is only for the pronunciation. You have to say sharibatil bintu. Otherwise, you cannot pronounce. Okay, so keep this in mind. But I think that's fine. Why the author is doing it, because right now we want you to think about the ta with the sukun. Okay, but for the pronunciation, you will put a kasra just to combine these two words. Okay, here we have asami'at. Asami'ta, it's a mistake. It should be sukun here. Asami'ta al-adhan. So this is your question that we already know, right? So you see, sometimes you have to know which one is part of the word, right? So what is sami'ta? Sami'ta it is for what? For you, masculine. right? We talked about this. Samia. I'm just gonna quickly put here one more time. We have Samia. He heard. I have a feeling I used the same verb before. So Sami at, which we just learned, extremely simple. You just add ta without making any change. As you can see, there's no change, not even haraka change. So adding ta is extremely simple. But what happens when you want to say other ta, like sami'ta, like you heard, you have to make some change. You say sami'ta. So you have to change this haraka into a sukun. Okay, so right now these things don't pay too much attention and think about in terms of rule. If you memorize, read it few times, you will see that's the only way of doing it. It will be second nature to you, because you will understand it will be very easy. So you will say asharibta, asharibta. Okay, and by the way, what is this adhan? This is an object, so you will say al adhana. Same thing here, you say asharibta al ma'a. And okay, so this is a question, right? They're asking a question. Sami'ta al-adhana? And the answer is na'am, yes. Sami'tu, yes, I heard. So the two is for I heard. Okay, so you heard. Remember, this you is for masculine, and you say sami'tu, sami'tu for I. So we have asharibta al-ma'a. Did you drink water? Na'am, sharibtu. Yes, I drank. Okay. كتبت الدرس. Did you write the lesson? نعم كتبت. Yes, I read. So bottom line, it is very simple, especially the three-letter verbs. Not all verbs you can do. There's going to be some changes, especially the verb that has alif, ya, or waw, these kind of weak letters. Right now, the words that they're giving you, these are all uh, standard normal words. So here it's very easy to do. Kataba, katabtu, katabta, katabat, katabti. Very simple. Ghasala, ghasalat, ghasaltu, ghasalta, ghasalti. Try these things by yourself with almost try with every verbs that you find. If you find any difficulties, then you can ask me. Inshallah, I will explain, right? So for example, let me see if you guys are getting it. If you guys are getting it, give me, how would I say you for feminine washed? How would I say that? Ghasalti. Yes, excellent. Good. Okay. So basically, remember, I think I gave you that chart. Inshallah, we will talk about, I don't have to go all the way back. We'll be talking about this chart a lot more. So let me just quickly write it here one more time. Ta with sukun is for she. Ta with fatha is for you, masculine. Ta with kasra is for you, feminine. And ta with dhamma is for I. See, extremely, extremely simple. This ta is lifesaver. Jade, good. I think all of them are easy. All these verbs we know, and you should take any verb from here and sit and try to add all the ta that you know. Jade. These are our التدريب الثاني. I don't know what kind of exercise they are. Then we have التدريب الثالث. These are قراءة, so basically they are trying to show you the difference between زي and ظا, ظاهر and ظاهر, زل and ظل. Okay, so the pronunciations. So then next exercise we have what? We have التدريب الرابع, the fourth exercise. Ajib, ajib means answer. So I think these are coming from the reading that we did. So this is reading comprehension. So first question is ماذا سمع بكر? ماذا سمع بكر? Samia is hard, right? Bakr. So what did Bakr hear? What did Bakr hear? What did he hear? I think I don't have time to go back. I'll just whatever I remember. I think he. What did he hear? Anybody know? He heard what? Yes, good. So you can say samia. Here you don't have to say bakar anymore because the context is clear. We're talking about bakar. As long as you have the proper pronoun of the verb, then the context is very clear. So samia, samial, adhan, adhan, and you say adhana because it is the object. You understand what I mean? Yes. Yeah, you don't have to mention his name. You could, that's not a problem, but because you're asking about him. For example, somebody asks you, what did Muhammad eat? You don't have to say Muhammad ate. You can say he ate. You understand? So when you say Samya, it means he heard already. You don't have to say Samya, uh, Samya Bakrun. As long as you don't say Samyat. If you say that one, well, then we don't know who you're talking about. you know so right now, somebody asks you about bakr. Now this would be the same thing as somebody said, Muhammad eat? And you say yes, she ate. You'll be scratching like, who? So that's the thing. As long as you keep your verbs properly, the context is very clear. uh, then the question is, mata samia bakrun al adhan. Do you remember? I have to go back to the text. Mata means, when did bakr hear? Yes, he heard the adhan of the Maghrib, but when did he hear? Let me quickly check. Yeah, I'm just going to do few of them, inshallah. You should be able to do them. It's not that difficult. Okay, Mata Samitajan Al-Ana. So the answer is now. Simple answer. You can say Samia Al-Ana. Samia Al-Ana. Okay, that's fine. You can say it, you can make it short. Although, it is better when you have these kind of verbs, it is better to uh, use the object, because this is a transitive verb, right? Because you don't know how to say he heard it. The book didn't teach you. If you know how to say he heard it, then you don't have to say adhan. You say, okay. So I don't want to confuse you right now. So you can say al adana, al ana. Make sense? كيف يتوضأ يتوضأ الوالد. How did the father perform wudu? Subhanallah. That's a big list, right? What you can do for this kind of answer, because it's very simple. How did the father start? So you can see he started from here. Bada al walidu al wudu, and then you can say, you can start from the qama al walidu thumma. Remember the words you're learning. Thumma means then. Ghasala yadayhi. Then after that, you just list all of them. There's nothing else. You just list all of them until he ended. And you don't have to put them in separate line. You can just put all of them in one line. Then the answer would look very short. Okay. So then we have Aina kanat Fatima. Kana is was for masculine, and kanat is was for feminine. So the question is, where was Fatima sa'ata sa'ata adhanil maghrib? So what is sa'a means here? Adhanil maghrib is the adhan of the maghrib. Sa'a here means is time. Okay, time. So basically saying where Fatima was at the time of the adhan. This part should be very easy. Adhanul Maghrib, which is the Maghrib adhan, the adhan of the Maghrib. And Sa'a is coming as the time of the adhan of Maghrib. So you have two idafa, one idafa and another one. Okay, you understand this? So where was she? I think she was in the room. I don't remember, something like that. You can say whatever the context is. I think it was in the room. You can go back. I'll give you how do you answer. You can say kanat, kanat. Again, see, I don't have to say Fatima. You can say it. You can say kanat Fatima. Was Fatima? Yes, I thought, yeah, Fatima. Fatima, where? Fi. How do you say room? Hmm? We have two words for room. I don't know which one they used. Yes, fil gurfa. Fil gurfa ti. Another one is fil hujra. Fil hujra. Hujra ti. Make sense? ماذا قالت الأم لفاطمة? What did the ماذا قالت? See, قال is he said. قالت is she said. So what did the mother said? So another thing you should know that when you want to say that I told you, when you use this verb, you have to have a preposition li. This is important because you'll see, just like in English, sometimes the verb needs a preposition. And what preposition you use, the meaning will change drastically. Okay, so this is very crucial that you also know which verb goes with or which harf goes with which letter. Okay, so you have to kind of learn them together. So if you want to say I told you, so how would you say I told Muhammad? This verb you cannot say qala Muhammadan, because you want to make it an object. No, it's not going to work like that. You understand? For example, if you want to say qala, let's just say qala Muhammadun, Muhammad said. So this is your subject. So you have a dhamma, everything's fine. But you want to say he said, he said to. See, even in English, we have to say use to. You see, he said to, or sometimes maybe you don't have to say he told Khalid. So you want to say Khalid. So you're like, okay, fine. Qala Muhammad, this is your subject and this is your object. Let's just put fatha. Qala Muhammad Khalidan. It's in some level it will be acceptable, but you want to say li Khalidin. You have to use the preposition li. Okay, and then of course once you have preposition, what happens? You put the kasra. So that's what happened. Okay, so first I told you qultu laka. Okay, that's how we have to memorize. So this is important that you understand. Okay, so that's why he's saying what did the mother said to Fatima. That's what we have li Fatima. Now you will also complain about why does this one have fatha. Then this is something that I cannot explain right now, but the answer is true. This is not a mistake. This is a correct way of writing it. This is a separate kind of words. Inshallah, I think the book will teach you, but the topic is a little bit broad. This kind of word, when it should get a kasra, instead of getting kasra, it gets a fatha. Okay, these are special type of word. So I don't know what she said. You have to please read back. And most of the time, from my experience of so far, the questions that the books are asking you, you usually have to, it's just simply copying them. Maybe you have to change the pronouns. Okay, so but most of the time you don't even have to change anything. You will just go back to the text and you'll find exactly the answer is right there. But it still is very helpful because why? You're going back to the text, you're reading the text to find the answer, and guess what? You're reading, your reading comprehension is getting better. So again, do not underestimate any of these things. Okay,